Hey everybody, this is Doa, and again, welcome back. This is game 2 between SlayersTeaja, spawning as our red Terran player up in the upper left part of Crevasse, and his opponent none other than TSL JYP, spawning as our blue Protoss player in the upper right part of the map. So game 1, we did see JYP try a dastardly hidden 4-gate against our Terran hero, and SlayersTeaja held it off very, very well. Even managing to find the units and the time and the APM to drop the main of JYP at the same time. So if you missed that game, sorry, I just spoiled the entire thing for you, but it was pretty cool, so still go back and watch it if you haven't. But we're going to have to see if SlayersTeaja can wrap up the series right now with a 2-0, or if JYP can come back, win a game, and force a game 3 here. Again, this is a game from ICCup's Korean weekly tournament put on by ICCup and Nation Voice. Definitely check that out. They are, oh, interesting, place for the pylon. Looks like he's going to start a wall off there. I always talk about Terrans that do a wall off against Protoss. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but some do like it. I think it's pretty weak to Void Ray openings, but, you know, that's just me. Anyway, yeah, this is put on by ICCup. They did their broadcasts this week for the tournament on Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so I'd imagine that's probably when it's going to be next week as well, so definitely check that out. They stream a lot of the games, but because it is a 64-player tournament, they just can't cast all the series and all the games, so they're having YouTube casters like myself help them out, and I'm absolutely glad to, because I absolutely love casting Korean StarCraft 2 games, so this is one of those series, best of 3. So I'm going to have some best of 1s on my channel and some best of 3s as well. This is the only best of 3 for this week, but we'll see what happens next week. I'm actually going to be really busy next week. I've got my brother's wedding next week, and I'm the best man, so man, I've got a lot to do. I've got the bachelor party tomorrow, and I've got more planning. I've got to give a speech, so man, it's a lot to do, as well as doing plenty of other stuff in the StarCraft 2 universe as well, so you'll be seeing a lot of that in the near future here. Looks like a Nexus first from JYP. I believe it was Nexus first. Yeah, it was. So Nexus going up before his gateway. And on a map like Crevasse, you certainly can get away with that. Nothing wrong at all with doing something like that. It's a huge map. The Terran really has to dedicate a lot of position to basically attack you in this situation. So I don't think we're going to see Teaja do any sort of really early aggression against this. We do see Teaja, in fact, getting his command center after his barracks. So one barracks expand from Teaja as well, doing some scouting right now with the Marine and his SCV out there, making sure that he keeps an eye out, looks for any sort of proxies. JYP did play a little bit tricky last game, so he is going to make sure to be on the lookout for that as well. But JYP is going to have a great economy, getting his Nexus up so early. As you can see, the command center for Teaja not even halfway done yet. So this is going to give JYP a nice big lead in the early game anyway, which you can use to kind of capitalize on in the later game, obviously. Teaja putting down a couple more barracks. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the getting his 2 gas as well. Interesting. I wanted to talk about the weaknesses that the Nexus First does have. If you keep in mind, back to the Code S group stages of last GSL, we did see Pult Prime take down OGS MC because OGS MC tried to play really greedy like this. Pult Prime just went for like 3 gate off of, or 3 barracks rather, off of 1 gate, and just kind of beat him. So the one thing that Nexus First is really, and I suppose Nexus after gate 2 is really vulnerable to, is those early Marine Marauder pushes, especially if you get the combat shields or the stim early on. A lot of Terrans that open with that 2 racks expand and put that pressure on the Protoss early on can do a decent amount of damage against a Protoss that goes Nexus first. You know, again, JYP on a big map like Crevasse is a lot safer than he would be on a map like, say, a Xel'Naga Fortress that MC tried to do it on. So overall, I mean, JYP's opening is still perfectly fine and safe, but you do run that risk, if the Terran does scout it early, of coming under fire with that early Marine Marauder pressure. Looks like Teaja instead is going to go for the same build as he did last time, getting 3 racks on the bunker and the factory in terms of tech after getting that command center up and running. Stalker's going to put a little bit of pressure here at the gateway, but not the gateway. It is sort of a gateway. I mean, it's the gateway into the Terran base, but you know what I mean. Marine's going to push back the Stalkers fairly easily, and you can see Teaja already anticipating that excuse me, that these rocks are going to be destroyed, but he should be just fine. So I'm curious to see where Teaja is going to go from here. Deciding to go for Stim first, getting a reactor and a starport, so probably just going to be going Marine Marauder with some drops as well. perfectly normal standard TvP. Oh, and JYP not paying attention for a second, losing one stalker, almost losing the second. Whoops. TvP's saying, hey, I can shoot at these rocks too. So TvP pretty safe right now. And what does JYP have? Whoa, 5 gateways. No, what? That is a lot of gateways. 4, 7 gateways for JYP. He's going to try a huge gateway bust on the army of TvP, and TvP only has a bunch of Marines right now. Medevac's just now being produced, so this is actually looking a bit dangerous for SlayersTeaja. I mean, he held the 4 gate last time. Oh no, he's moving out. Oh, the Marines get trapped at the bottom of the ramp. That is absolutely not what you want to happen if you are SlayersTeaja, and that just basically gave JYP the win right there. Man, after losing almost his entire army, that is going to be about it. I mean, I think now, I don't want to call it early, but yeah, I think we're going to see JYP basically just crush SlayersTeaja in the next couple minutes if he decides to push. Here he comes again. No repairing is going to be able to be done on those bunkers with the force fields. Look at that, the bunker going down so quickly. SlayersTeaja just moving out at exactly the wrong time. He had no idea what was out there. Lots of sentries moving out right now. And with these warp-ins, yeah, JYP is going to be able to clean this up pretty easily, I think. JYP does have to deal with a couple Marauders that do have stim, a couple Medevacs as well, but the army is just completely overwhelming. About 30 supply ahead right now for our Protoss player, and I think we can probably expect a GG fairly soon from TvP, as JYP just has basically a crushing force right now, just going for that huge amount of gateways, busting down the Terran wall. And yeah, TvP trying to stay in it. He's got a little bit of bio left. JYP playing very, very safely. TvP's micro is pretty superb, but I just do not see. Yeah, there it is, GG, and JYP just with a ton of gateways, busting down the wall of SlayersTeaja, taking game 2 again. This was Doa. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like the cast, and definitely join me again because it looks like we're going to game 3.